Hey guys, it's PC Master 160 here, and I have a mod to show you guys today. This is Wireless Redstone Chicken Bones Edition. So basically what he did is he took a mod and he added a lot more to it. So basically what this mod does is it adds these three things: the wireless transmitter, the wireless receiver, and the jammer. So basically what it does is it transmits redstone wirelessly. So say I have a transmitter over here and I set it on frequency 1. Then I have a receiver here and I set it on frequency 1. And let's get rid of this. And then if I turn on the transmitter, it goes to the receiver. And it's got really cool graphics and animations, and of course, I made a texture pack for this mod. It'll be in the description because actually the forum I usually post it on is down. So this can travel over distances, and if I show you guys, if I put, say, a receiver over here, put frequency 1, and put a little bit of redstone cabling coming out, and I'm going to go in creative mode. Then I flip lever, you can see that both receivers are turned on. If I change this to frequency 2, now it's off, but then if I change this to frequency 2, it's back on, and this is off. So they're on different frequencies. So basically, I think there's over 5,000. Yep, there's 5,000 frequencies. So basically, you can choose and pick. And actually, this is made to be server friendly. Their first 1,000 frequencies can be shared, and you can make them private on servers using commands. And yep. So next thing we have here is the jammer. So let's put, let's go into this first. So basically this is the basics of the mod before this. What Chicken Bones did is he added the advanced button here. So what we can do here is not only can we set the value, say if I want to do 50, I'd have to press 10 5 times. Now I can just type in 50 and hit set. And that's 50. Then I can type in 1 again and hit set. Next thing is I can do a name. So if I put in the name test and hit set name, then if I right click this, I can double click on test, it'll set to frequency 1. Put it up to like 5, double click on test, it'll go back to 1. So it's really simple. And the last thing is the spectrum. So basically, if I go out of creative mode and get myself either some Lumar or dye, since I have red power installed, it's dye. So it's Lumar. So get some Lumar. And let's get some white, gray, and yellow. So since I have it, I have the spectrum here, and I can change it in here. Now if I change it to, say, yellow, and I hit phase shift, now the name's yellow. If I look over here, spectrum is also yellow. If I go up here, test is still white, but the spectrum is yellow. Now this is useful in the future for a bunch of things. I'll show you guys that in a second. Next, let's get into jammers. So essentially what the jammer does is it jams the signal up. So I have the signal going to these two things. If I turn on the jammer, you see the ball starts to spin, and then you know it's on, and it's hurting me. Why is it hurting me? Because it's jamming. So if you give it a second here, it'll actually turn off the signal going to these two. See? And it'll hurt me every couple seconds, just like before. So there you go. And if I if I supply it with redstone signal, it'll be turned off. And you can tell because the ball isn't spinning anymore. And then if I give this a minute, this will unjam because the airspace will clear, and the signal will start going again. So you see it's not going because this can't transmit. But if you give this a second here, then it'll start transmitting again. So that's really cool. The recipes are shown. I'll just do this while it's turning on. Wireless receiver recipe. It's a receiver dish, an obsidian stick, and some wafers from red power. Obsidian stick is made like this, just obsidian. And the receiver dish is made with stone bowl, which is just stone like that. And a wireless transceiver, which is the re-ether pearl and the obsidian stick. The re-ether pearl is made with redstone, glowstone, and ender. So basically, as you can see, this turned back on. Basically what this does is, this has a whole nother realm that it accesses, and the re-ether pearl, if I show you guys over here, the re-ether pearl is what allows it to enter that realm. That's why it's on the end of here, and it's used in pretty much every item in this mod. So that's very cool, because it's transmitted to the re-ether, and that's transmitted all across the world. So that's really cool. And recipes definitely aren't overpowered, because they need a lot of stuff. They need some, glowstone, that's always hard to get, stuff like that. So, as you can see, I got a nice beautiful world over here, and I got a minecart station. So, what am I going to use that for? We're going to find out once we go through a few more things. So, next up on the mod is, that's basically it for the core of the mod. And of course, you only get these if you have red power installed, which I think is required for the mod. But that's that. Now we have the add-ons, which are not required but are very cool, and you should use them. So first off, we got the triangulator. It doesn't have texture right now because there's some Optifine bugs, but in the future, hopefully that will be fixed. Wireless remote, which, crap, where is that going to go? It doesn't have texture either because Optifine bugs. It works with a vanilla texture pack and Optifine disabled. I'll show you guys that in a little bit. The wireless sniffer, so let's put that down here. And the wireless map. Where'd the map go? There. So, let's start with the wireless sniffer. So basically, this is a map of 1 through 1000 range, and I can go all the way up to 5000. And it shows me which redstone frequencies are going to be used, and what their name is, and what color they are. So if you guys remember, I made this, remember yellow spectrum? Well, if we look at this, it's got a yellow around it, and it's dark red, or it's light red because we know it's turned on. It also is named test. So if I turn this off, if we look at it now, it's still yellow, but it's not on anymore. So, it's pretty cool. If I went up to frequency 10 and turned it on, even though it's not connected to anything, it's still turned on here. I went up to 11. I went up by 10. And then that's back on. So you can see which frequencies are used through this in the whole world. So, it's pretty nice. You can also see frequencies in SMP. You can see frequencies from everyone else. So that's cool. Next up, we have the wireless remote. Now this is cool. If you sneak and right click, you can set which frequency you want to do. So let's say I want it to work this cart here. Basically what I have is a system where if I press the button, the train from the trains mod will go, and the other train behind it will be brought on up here, because I have a station right down there. I have from Railcraft, I have a signal, and it'll stop if there's not any, if there's a train from it, so it doesn't crash. So if I press this again, it'll go, and this one will be brought all the way back up here. So, let's say I want to signal this, just wirelessly. So, let's just go into create mode, break a few blocks, and now we're going to need a wireless receiver. So if we get that, place this down right like this, and of course wire it up. So let's set this to frequency 10, and let's put it on stop rail. That's where the rails stop. Set that, so now it's frequency 10 is set as stop rail, and we can see if we go frequency 10, stop rail. So now I can signal it from over here, say, if I click on stop rail. There we go, I signaled it, and it went. I can do it again, and that'll go. It's nice and easy. Next thing I could do, though, is if I get my wireless remote again, if I sneak, right-click, and double-click stop rail, and that selects frequency 10. So then when I right-click with this remote, which you can't see, but I am holding something, I swear. But if I right-click with this, actually, you know I'm holding something, but yeah. And it says remote 10, because it's on frequency 10. So if I right-click with it, That sends a pulse, and if I right click again, it will again. So that's pretty useful, because if I go in this minecart here, I go in here, I pulsed it, and I went in it in the same right click, which is pretty cool. I can see the frequencies, they're all off. And if I go all the way around here, remember I have that stop up ahead because there's a rail and it hasn't gone yet. So I'm stuck here. So I normally have to get out because the signal's red, if you see all the way up there. Signal's red because there's a train. But if I take out my remote and right click, it'll let it go, it'll post the signal, then it'll let us go. So that's very nice and handy. That's just a simple use for it. In a second, I can get into a couple more uses. So next item we got is the triangulator. What this does is, I sneak right click. I can select whichever I want. Let's select, why not test. Now as you can see, this is a compass. Now if I put, now it'll show me the nearest place test is. So the place test is coming from the signal. So if I select test here, notice it's still not on, but if I turn the signal on, and the compass is pointing at the wireless transmitter. So if I go over here, on top of my little volcano structure in the jungle, see it's still pointing over to the wireless transmitter. So this is pretty helpful for finding where transmitters are and stuff like that. So turns off, it turns off. So unfortunately this doesn't work with HD textures either, but we'll see. We'll see in the future. So next item is the wireless map. Now this is nice, especially when it comes to the colors, because if I turn this on, you remember it's yellow. Now if I look at the map right now, there's no dots, but if I turn this on, notice there's a yellow dot right there. So it's a yellow dot in the middle of my, can I even zoom? Yeah, I can zoom. So you see the yellow dot right there? That's because this is turned on. If I happened to turn on my rail here, if I change this to my stop rail, and I change my stop rail to be black, both carts will go forever. And if I look at my map, I can see, if I zoom in here, the stop rail is on. So it's where it's transmitted from, again, just like the compass. Can do the same. So as you can see also, the background of the compass changes. It changes to the color of the spectrum. So that's very cool. The next item we have is probably my favorite. It's the wireless tracker. Also, before we get to that, just want to say that there's the private sniffer, which is mainly for servers. Slightly different recipe. It uses Blaze transceivers instead of the wireless transceivers. But basically, this will show you which. This is for servers. It'll show you which are yours, which signals are yours. So it's nice and easy to find that. So on to my favorite item.